Hey, hey, y'all. Guess who's back in her office finally? I literally just got off the road. Just got off. Excited about being back in my office. Always excited to bring you all great information. Today is day 28, and today is all about strategic alchemy, transforming your plans into reality. My name is Danette Moss, business systems and implementation strategist. Thanks so much for joining me here on Instagram. And for those of you that are joining me over on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all those other places, thanks so much for joining me and showing up for 28 straight days. We still got a total of, how many days left? We're hanging out. I'm hanging out with you all for 61 days for the strategic Leadership Mastery Series. Thanks so much to Training Chick. Welcome home, right? Because, girl, I've been in everybody else's place driving 24-hour trips all across from everywhere, from Atlanta down to Florida, from Florida back through Atlanta, all the way up to Cleveland, Ohio. So that was a journey. And then spending time with family and all the above, and then having to make the journey back and internet connections and people's places that you have to stay in to try to work stuff out. Listen, I still showed up. I'm a woman of my word. Look, hair is every which way, but listen, I'm coming here to give you the good, no matter what, because we want to finish this year out with a successful bang and bring 2024 in just as prosperous or even more prosperous. This is why I believe God gave me this journey myself to go through with you all for 61 consecutive days. Now, some days, of course, will be pre-recorded. I learned that. And some days also will be where you will see me live. So it looks like we're going to be doing probably Monday through Thursday live, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday things will be pre-recorded because of Sabbath and because it's just a weekend and I need to woosah and spend time with my family. But I'm not going to hang on to that too very much longer. I just wanted to just tell you how excited I am. It's nothing like being in your own office, right? So again, if you're just now joining, my name is Danette Moss, business systems and implementation strategist, aka the strategy lady. Again, I want to welcome and thank those of you that are following me here on IG and those of you that are hanging out with me over on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all those platforms that I hang out with. I'm always excited, or hang out in. I'm always excited that you all have many ways to connect with me. So make sure you join me in whatever your favorite platform is on, because your girl is going to be there for you to give you the good. Today, our topic of discussion for day 28 is all about the strategic alchemy, transforming plans into reality. Remember, our topic for the 61 days, where we're in that strategic leadership mastery. I'm working with you also. You can master things that you need to master in order for you to streamline and scale your business for that sustainable growth. And truly understanding the importance of transforming your plans into reality is so important, extremely important. I've been talking a whole lot about helping you literally not only go from overwhelming your business, but simplifying, automating, systematizing, and streamlining your business. So in a nutshell, I like to help you or work with you to put your business on rinse and repeat. And the way to do that in my world is to take you from strategy to implementation. So let's go ahead and jump in to our topic of discussion. But before we go into that, I do realize that some of you all, you like to leave some comments, but sometimes you may have questions or you want to have some comments, leave some comments here, but you're kind of nervous about people kind of knowing your thoughts or seeing your questions. There is an awesome group for you to come on over and hang out with us over at, and that is the Get Your Sass On community. If you're not part of that community, feel free to join us at GYSO community dot LetsTalkStrategies.com. We'd love to have you over there. It's a safe place. It's for my female CEOs, whether you're a coach, consultant, or service professional. And it's a point of accountability, in my opinion, a place where you can be with other women and just say, I don't get this part. What do you think about that part? and we can help you get to that next level. So make sure if you're not a part of that community, please go over and visit GYSO community.letstalkstrategies.com. That is our Get Your Sass On community. Now let's go ahead on and let's dive into our topic of discussion, strategic alchemy, transforming plans into reality, because it's time to take some action, y'all. It really is time to take some actionable steps. We are going to truly embark on what I consider a tailored exploration for you all, you female CEOs. We're going to talk about the art of transitioning from strategy to implementation. So, whether you are a seasoned business owner that has a team, or if you are navigating this thing as a solopreneur, right? I've crafted a roadmap for you, and we're going to kind of dive into some things. So, for my personal solopreneur female CEOs, we're going to touch on things like your personal efficiency, networking strategies, goal setting things, and the power of self reflection. That's going to be extremely important, and the art of strategic outsourcing. Meanwhile, for those of you that are seasoned female CEOs that have teams right now, you may be thinking and trying to figure out some tips on strategic outsourcing, right? How can I deal with this? Working out communicating with excellence, strategic delegation. Y'all know I'm all about that. And creating that positive culture of cultivation in your business. We're going to kind of dig deep into some things here. Let's go ahead and let's get started. I think I want to start with my solo female CEOs. I'm going to provide you with 7 practical tips as it pertains to transforming your business plans into reality. So if you're a female CEO who is a solopreneur, let's look at the personal efficiency piece. Here's the first tip. I keep talking about it and I'm going to keep talking about it. Y'all, it's time, even if you're doing this thing by yourself, it is time for you to truly, truly, truly streamline your personal workflows. Okay. And the way to do that is, of course, to identify some things, right? So I'm hoping, because you've been following me these days, that you understand the importance of identifying all the key elements of your business, but you need to identify the tools that you need, especially if you are a solopreneur. Identify those tools and whatever practices that will allow you to enhance your efficiency and focus. I'm looking at both of my cameras here, so that you can focus on those strategic things, strategic priorities. You don't need to be wasting your time on things that really don't generate income. So we need to deal with some personal/professional efficiency. Streamline some workflows. Let's make it happen. Now, practical tip number 2 for my solopreneurs, those of you that have teams, we are going to address you in a second. The second practical tip for my solo female CEOs as it pertains to transforming your plans into reality is you need to, because you're solopreneur, is you need to network, right? Networking for support. Build a network of mentors, advisors, other fellow female entrepreneurs, CEOs. Having a support system, ladies, outside of your organization can truly provide you with that valuable insight. This is why I'm encouraging you to be a part of the Get Your Sass On community. It's not like feeling like you're doing this thing alone, and it's not necessary. So that practical tip number 2 for my solo female CEOs was networking for support. Now, your practical tip number 3 for those solopreneurs, y'all, set some realistic goals. Don't get all tied up into thinking or mapping out this big, gigantic plan, and you're already overwhelmed. So you're struggling to try to make things really fit and make things work. Establish those achievable goals, considering your capacity as a solo leader. This is strategic leadership mastery, right? You're doing it by yourself. Right now, you're in a shoestring budget. We do plan on getting you to the point where you can get a team. But while you're doing this by yourself, because it's just a reality right now, make sure you establish goals that you can really, truly achieve as a solo leader. Focus on quality over quantity, okay? This is going to ensure that you have that successful implementation. Don't try to trick and fool yourself. Let's just be real about where you are. It is what it is. Been there, done that. Practical tip number 3 for you. And that is, it's time for you to regularly self-reflect as a solopreneur, solo female CEO. Regularly reflect on your strategies and the actions that you're taking. Identify those areas that you need to improve and adjust them so you can approach them accordingly. It's okay it's your business. So you can do this thing, but you got to self reflect. You got to be real with yourself so that you can spot those things that you need to work on. And then you can go ahead and make the necessaries, as the training chick says here. Thanks for teaching us to pivot and adjust and keep going in our businesses. Hey, I'm showing y'all me in the raw, right? Because I feel that if I can show you who I am and the process of what it is we have to do as female CEOs, I'm not trying to show you that I got it all perfect. Nobody has it all perfect. So if they say they do, I would tell you to run, Forrest, run, or run for it because you're women. I don't know. Heck, that was a dud, but you know what I'm saying. Listen, you just got to do what you got to do, right? So you got to look at those, identifying those areas for improvement. We all need them, and adjust things accordingly. Pivot if you have to. Thanks so much to Training Chick for giving me that, because that fell right into the regular self reflection. Now, we also want to talk about outsourcing strategically. As a solo female CEO, sometimes, listen, ladies, you're going to have to outsource if it's feasible. And I'm going to tell you, it can be done. If you need to pull back on your Starbucks, if you need to pull back on other things so that you can get a little woosah in your life, outsource, but you need to outsource strategically. Okay. So we think about areas that will allow you to maintain your focus, that you're good at. If you're not really good with social media and other things that need to be handled as a successful female CEO, look at those areas that you may want to sub out to someone else, give to them because it's their area of, I guess, zone of genius or zone of optimization, and you stick to the thing that you best work at. The end goal is to get you set up where you can have that team where you can graduate to it. And there are ways for you to outsource, pull back on some of those not so needed things and invest it back into your business. Now, I want to go ahead and I want to move on to the practical tips for my female CEOs that have teams. Here's your time, here's your session of things that I think you should do, practical tips for you so that you can transform your plans into realities. If you're just now joining me, again, my name is Danette Moss, business systems and implementation strategist, aka the strategy lady. Thanks so much for joining me here on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and of course over here on Instagram. We've addressed the 7 practical tips that my female CEO, the solopreneurs, female CEOs, and now we're moving on to 7 practical tips for the female CEOs that have team members so you can transform your business into reality. And the first tip for the female CEOs with team members is that you need to make sure that having team empowerment sessions is going to be extremely important. Why? Because it allows you to leverage. It allows you to leverage your team's diverse skills and the perspectives. Empowering them by what? Recognizing their strengths. And please, by all means, make sure that you encourage collaborations. I don't want to do all this by myself. Utilize team members. I'm encouraging collaborations. I'm bringing them in. Give me your thought process. What do you think how I should move with this? Should I turn left or turn right? Because in most cases, they're doing a lot of the work. They're the gatekeepers. If my strength is not in the financial piece, well, I'm giving that to someone else who does that. So I may outsource that, right, to someone else. Or if someone on my team is better at, putting together my workflows or, setting up my follow-up sequences, whatever it is, I'm going to leverage my team utilizing their skills so that I can focus on my zone of optimization, aka my zone of genius. Now, the second practical tip for the female CEOs with team as it pertains to transforming your plans into reality is make sure that you have an open line of communications. Those open communication channels, y'all, are extremely important. Establish an open line with your team members. Ensure that everyone, feels like they are being heard and that they can indeed contribute ideas to you. There's nothing like us as business owners. We have team members, whether it's a virtual assistant or someone that specialized specifically in an area that you work on as a business owner. Yet you as a business female CEO, you keep trying to hold everything. You've hired them to do these things, but you keep squeezing and holding it tight because you don't trust them. First, if you don't trust, why do you have a team? At some point, you're going to have to loosen up. And yes, things are going to happen that's not going to be so fun, but you got to learn how to push through it. And establishing that open line of communications as a female CEO with team is going to be valuable to you. It truly is. And having your actual team players know that what they feel and what they have to contribute matters, I'm telling you, it's leverage on 110% to me. I'm not messing around. I got to give it to you. Now, practical tip number 3 for my female CEOs with teams members. We talked about an open line of communications, but now we need to remember the importance of delegating wisely. So, delegating those tasks based on their individual strengths. Hopefully, you vetted them because you've hired them, right? So, you should have an idea who's strong in certain areas, right? Now, this doesn't necessarily, well, this does lighten your workload, but you want to maximize the efficiency. So, where somebody else is probably better at onboarding, somebody else is probably better at assisting your clientele with digital CEO systems. I may have them working with someone that deals with landing pages or creating a website or whatever it is that we're actually going through. Someone else is stronger over here, but another person is stronger with the marketing campaigns. Delegate the task based on their individual strengths. If you give someone a task and they're not very comfortable with it, at some point you will find that your hands are back in it. And remember, the reason for having team is to free you up so that you can work on those things that you best work at and let them do what they best work at. Just making it easier. Now let's talk about the next practical tip. I believe we are on practical tip number 4 for female CEOs that have team members. And that is fostering a positive culture. We got to cultivate, y'all, a positive, I guess I would say inclusive work culture. We need a way to truly motivate our team, right? To make sure that we're rallying in behind them, that makes them feel like they are really making some stuff happen, right? We want to make sure that we are executing strategic type structured environment for them. I move at every level in its most strategic way. I foster a positive culture environment. I want everyone to feel happy. I want everyone to feel like their contributions still do matter because we kind of talked about in other levels. But oftentimes we can put this thing in play, but we're operating from a negative state of mind and not positive. So anything that comes out of my mouth business wise, my focus is to speak it in its most positive way to them. Even if they fail, even if they mess up, even if something happens where a follow-up doesn't come into play the right way, someone didn't get on the calendar the right way, this system was broken and they didn't catch it. I like to come from a positive state of mind. One, because if I hire them or have them working for me in whatever state of or whatever position I have them in, I believe in their skill set. And sometimes we have off days. So if they have an off day, I need to have a way to positively speak with them that would impact and encourage them to, let's just keep going. Okay, we had that hiccup. Let's get up and let's keep going. So make sure that you have fostered a positive culture in your business, especially when it comes to having team members. The word spreads very quickly if you're nasty. Trust me. So positivity only, right? Now, our next, I believe, last but not least, I want to make sure I have everything. See here what we got. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I think I got 2 more. I got to find them. Is continuous training for my female CEOs who have a team. Invest in ongoing training. I'm always signing my junior admin up She's getting better with Canva, very good at it in my opinion, but getting better. She's getting better with learning how to use digital CEO systems, which is powered by Go High Level. Every level that I need my admin to be able to support me in, I make sure that I keep that ongoing training going. I'm making sure that I stay trained up, right? So, of course, your team members need to be trained. They need to constantly be in a developmental stage. So, you need to equip them with the skills needed to excel in the strategy implementation. Y'all know I'm all about strategies. The name of my business is called Let's Talk Strategies. I always tell you I come from that space of helping you go from overwhelmed in your business to simplifying, automating, systematizing, and streamlining your business. Okay. And the only way that I can truly do that is I need to make sure that I keep myself trained up. So, of course, if I'm trained up at taking a strategic approach, helping you go from strategy to implementation in your business, I sure better make sure that my team members can do it because we all got to keep excelling in this. We really do. So I believe that was only for you all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know I got 2 more. I'm positively sure I got 2 more. Let me check to see because I like to give you that balance. We gave the solo female CEOs their theirs. So I want to make sure that my ones with the team have the same amount. Well, no, I didn't give you all 7. I gave 5 and 5. So that's the balance. That's the balance. So I hope that these tips were helpful for you. I hope that you will go back, listen to the replay, share it with any other female CEO who you know is really truly ready to go from overwhelmed in her business to putting this business on rinse and repeat, aka simplifying, automating, systematizing, and streamlining her business, getting her SaaS on, right? Because when you get your SaaS on your business, you will go from strategy to implementation. As a business owner, we really truly need to be in that implementation stage. I've run into so many consultants and coaches, and these are 6 and 7 figure female CEOs that are in business. They've gotten all this training. I mean, Maxwell training. I forgot his name, Ted McGraw, I believe his name. I mean, major. They've invested and spent tons of money, yet they're sitting there going, I need this to be done before I can move forward. They're looking for the spirit of perfection, and it's not going to happen. It is time to implement and take action. So my whole goal through this entire series of strategic leadership mastery is to speak to you in a way that we go from strategy to implementation. Because that's the only way that we can end 2023 with a bang and bring in 2024 in a successful way with plans already mapped out so we continue to grow and create that sustainable business growth, because that's what we need in order to have that successful business. Now, I hope that this session was helpful for you. I appreciate you for hanging out with me. This again was day 28 of the Strategic Leadership Mastery Series. Our topic of discussion today is strategic alchemy, transforming plans into reality. Now, you know, I have to end with a bit of homework. And remember, I mentioned it every time I come on. I hate to use that term homework, but again, I'm all about telling you it's time to roll up your sleeve and get down to business. So, for your assignment, I want you to reflect on your current strategy implementation processes. First question is, do you have it? Do you have one? If you don't, we need to get it. So I want you to reflect on it. If you don't have one, we need to get one in place. Okay. Identify at least one area of improvement based on these tips. So I've provided 5 tips for female CEOs that are solopreneurs, and I've provided 5 tips for female CEOs who have teams. So based on these tips, identify one area of improvement of these tips shared today and create an action plan for implementing positive changes for your business. I'd love for you to share them with us. You can share it in the comments section if you decide to, or if you'd like a more intimate setting. Remember, we do have that awesome platform, which is the Get Your Sass On community. You can go over to GYSO community.com community.letstalkstrategies.com. Again, that is GYSO community.letstalkstrategies.com. Thanks again for joining me, you all. This is Danette Moss, excited to be back in my home office, excited to be able to get the rest that I need, and finally excited to be off the road and back in my normal element. All right, y'all. For now, I want to tell you to make it a great rest of day. Make sure that you join us on tomorrow for day 29 as we continue to explore more of the strategic leadership mastery. We're going to be refining and, of course, optimizing this leadership journey all the way to the end of the year. So make sure you join me. We should be back on our normal schedule for 6 p.m. Prayerfully, Lord. We will be going Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it will be a pre-recorded time because your girl needs some rest because she's been knocking this thing down for 28 days. So I hope you'll come back and join me on day 29 for another yet positive yet growing session that's going to help you grow your business on ways that you can be strategic, be that awesome, solid leader, and master these skills that you need to master to have the success that I know you desire to have. Take care, my IG peeps. And thanks again also for joining me. And thanks for joining me over on my Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. This is Danette Moss, Business Systems and Implementation Strategist, aka the Strategy Lady, over at LetsTalkStrategies.com. Y'all take care now.